All right, we're walking into Tōchō-ji. This is one of the oldest temples, Buddhist temples in Japan, at least the oldest of the Shingon sect. I mean, this thing is 1,200 years old, and then some. It was built by like a super famous monk called Kūkai, and Daishi Kōbō is another name for him, but he had traveled to China and was inspired, and he came back to Japan and he wanted to push further eastward what's referred to as tantric Buddhism, and he's established a number of temples throughout Japan, 1,200 years ago, and that was in the Heian period when the imperial court had some serious influence and power in what is today the city of Kyoto, the Heian period. And the 5-story pagoda over here is actually new. We're going to walk up to that. We're probably not allowed to take the camera inside, so we're just going to walk up the stairs and stay outside. I'm not going to talk much. We'll get over to the pagoda here, but it was actually built back in 2011 to celebrate the 1,200th anniversary of the temple. Just a little bit about Buddhism. I mean, Buddhism had come to Japan hundreds of years before that. Around the 600s, I do believe Prince Shotoku at the time was the one who sponsored Buddhism in the state, and in fact state Buddhism where it took root. But the indigenous belief system, Shinto, which doesn't have a god, it doesn't have scriptures or anything like that, up until I'd say after the Second World War, was always in constant conflict. Shinto in conflict with Buddhism and vice versa, and burning down temples and shrines and that kind of thing. So this pagoda is actually very new, but built in the real style, or with the same architectural designs, as well as construction techniques of the time. And this is interesting. It's actually very earthquake resistant, and apparently modern buildings today actually use a number of the techniques that were used to build pagodas like this in Japan, because of course Japan 1,200 years ago certainly had its share of earthquakes. Let's get a closer look over here. We'll kind of pan out a little bit so you can see what the temple looks like in size. Maybe we'll walk in. What I think is fascinating is that this is in the middle of a bustling city, Fukuoka, of about 2 million people. Check it out for yourself. And, but when this temple was built, actually, I mean, Fukuoka was an important place for international trade, particularly with China, and diplomacy. Right next door is Shofuku-ji, which is also the first Zen Buddhist temple constructed in Japan. It doesn't say no photographs here, so I think I am going to walk in, but I'm not going to talk. Oh, I see a sign, no photos. We're going to leave it at that. We will walk over here so you can see the architectural design of one of the buildings here. This temple actually was built by the seaside, but after a fire it was decided that it had to be moved inland. It was the Kuroda clan, I believe in the 1600s, after the Warring States period had ended, and Tokugawa Ieyasu had unified the country. They'd moved it inland, and it was the Kuroda family that were the caretakers and patrons of the temple. That's pretty cool.